Good morning you guys, it's Karen and today I'm reviewing some new FaceTheory products. I was waiting for this to come out, the Sunfragma SPF25 Melting Balm, and while I was there I saw that they also had these two new products. One is the RESTORASOFT Waterproof Makeup Remover and then this is the Lip Balm Bioactive. FaceTheory are cruelty free and vegan, so I think that that's really useful because I can only imagine if I was going vegan it would be even harder to buy, you know, to replace some of my products. So let me start with the one that I least like, and then we'll end with the one that I do like. This is the RESTORASOFT Waterproof Makeup Remover. It comes in a glass bottle. It's got a little plastic pump on it. I love things that come in a pump bottle. I like that it's in a glass bottle, saving plastic, etc, etc. But this didn't work that well for me, unfortunately. This is one that you rinse with warm water, and you guys know I prefer not to use water to remove my makeup. I like to use an oily makeup remover like the NIOD LVCE and then go over with micellar water. But I do sometimes take my makeup off in the shower, and so I have tried this in the shower, and I've also tried it just using it on a cotton pad the way you can with some cleansing milks to see if it was any different. There's two issues I have with it. Number one is that it's actually called a waterproof makeup remover. I don't wear waterproof mascara. I find that makes my eyelashes too crispy, but I do always have a mascara on that it doesn't crumble, it doesn't smudge under my eyes, and so it's pretty steadfast on my eyes, you know, so it can be difficult to remove. I've tried this with different mascaras, and I found it really difficult to get my eye makeup off. Like I had to go over 2 or 3 times with this, you know, rubbing it in and then rinsing it and then rubbing some more in and rinsing it to get my eye makeup off. The second issue with it is that it stung my eyes, and it stung a lot. It wasn't just a little bit, and so that did bother me. And so it would mean that it is really pointless to take off eye makeup. And if I'm going to remove my makeup in the shower or a bath or whatever, I want something that's going to take everything off. And so it's likely to be an oil, you know, or definitely something a bit more effective than this. It's a nice gentle cleanser, you know, there's nothing horrible about it. Did I tell you the price? It's £9.99. And that's what it looks like. It comes out very, very thin. So you do have to use quite a lot of it as well, especially because, like I said, it doesn't work first time. But you can see it's very, very thin. It's not a thick, creamy type of cleanser at all. And it feels fine, you know, on the rest of my face it felt absolutely fine. My skin didn't feel tight afterwards, so I would say that, you know, if you've got dry skin, I know a lot of cleansers that I use can leave my skin feeling dry after I've used water on it, but this one didn't, so it's nice in that respect. So I guess I'll use it up to take off my face makeup, but it's not a repurchase for me. Next is the lip balm. So it's the Lip Balm Bioactive. Let me show you what it looks like. You can see it's got a little hole in the middle because I've been digging in it with my cotton bud. It's really hard. This is not a soft lip balm at all. You really have to push into this. If you're using your finger, you're really going to have to push into it to get some out. And it's just okay. It's like, I would say this is like Vaseline. It feels a little bit like Vaseline. It doesn't feel quite as slippy as Vaseline. It's just a kind of clear sort of gel. You can see that it's very, very, it looks very greasy on there, and it's actually a little bit sticky on my hand. But on the lips I didn't have that problem of like my hair sticking to my lips or anything like that. But when it went on, it was just okay. It wasn't that same feeling I get from like that It Cosmetics lip balm. Feels amazing going on. That Kiko one, I've got that in my bag, the Kiko lip balm, I can't remember what it's called, feels amazing. The lip oils that I've enjoyed from Kiko and from NYX, they feel really, really good going on. Whereas this was just a bit blur. It doesn't really, let's see if it gives you a, oh, I'm going to use my finger, I don't normally do that, but a sheen on your lips. I haven't actually tried it over the top of lipstick so far, so see what it's like on top of that. That's probably how I'd use it, actually, on top of lipstick. So yeah, it wasn't one that I was just like, oh, this is just so lovely, you know, I love using this. But also it didn't do much for my lips in that I noticed I needed to use it again in, you know, every 10 minutes or so, every 10, 20 minutes. I was like, right, I need some more lip balm. Whereas the others that I use, I can go a couple of hours. I wouldn't discount this if you are vegan, because I imagine it would be hard to find a lip balm without, you know, beeswax and honey and all of the ingredients that you're trying to avoid, because you know, it's pleasant enough to use. It's just, like I said, it didn't work for me. I had to reapply it a lot, but maybe you don't mind that, maybe you're used to it, or maybe it would work differently for you. I can't find another single review because I normally like to see what other people are saying, you know, because obviously we all react to things differently. And it's not one I'm going to give away. I'm going to use it and we'll see how I get on. What I'll do is I'll continue using it, and it'll either be in my empties and fails, or if I suddenly go, you know what, now it's working better, then I'll put it in my favourites. Because the thing about lip balms is, you know, I've reviewed all of these lip oils and lip balms, but your lips will be a different level of dry at different times, depending on the weather, etc., you know, depending on how much you've used. And they could have been really, really dehydrated that day, and then this might hydrate them, and then I use something else and think it's that, you know what I mean? So I shall continue using it and report back to you. Last but not least is the Sunfragma SPF25 Melting Balm. And this is not a mineral sunscreen, you might be surprised to hear, because I do prefer a mineral sunscreen, but it's just because I'm trying to avoid like oxybenzone, octinoxate, the kind of usual chemical sunscreens. This has got some different chemical sunscreens in, and I don't know enough about them at the moment. It's something I need to look into a bit more. I thought, let me first try this product, and if I really like it, then I can maybe do a further review, like an ingredient spotlight on the sunscreens that they use in here. Sorry, I could hear the pitter-patter of Watson's feet there, and I was wondering where he was going. It put me off. What was I saying? Yeah, I could maybe do an ingredient spotlight video on there's two kind of novel chemical sunscreens in here, but I was super interested in this. So let me show you what it's like. That's what it looks like. Ooh, that's what I was about to show you. I didn't think I tipped it up far enough. You can see that it is a kind of solid cream in that I can't get any out there, but let me show you how much oil is in here. See that dripping? There's so much oil in here that might bother some people, because it is, in my opinion, very greasy on the skin, but I really, really enjoy it. Like I said, you can see it's solid, or not solid, it's not solid at all, but it's a cream. It's not, you know, any kind of lotion. It's definitely, you can see why they call it a balm, because it's a very thick cream, but it's got that oil in it, so it does feel like a balm. So I've got a video of me putting this on my face anyway, so that you can make your mind up how shiny or otherwise you think it is. But I do really enjoy this. I think it's lovely, and this would be fantastic for dry skin, but only if you are wearing a foundation over the top. Because the weird thing is, I put it on and I thought, oh no, that's not going to be any good for keeping foundation on. You know, I thought it's, because I waited a few minutes and I thought it's absorbed a little bit, but I can still see that my face is shiny. It still feels, you know, when you can, like, I could move it around still. I could put my hand on my face and I could still rub it in. It felt like it would never ever rub in. And I thought, oh, this is going to be terrible underneath foundation. But I've used it under many different foundations this past week and a half, and it's been absolutely fine under foundation. My skin is kind of normal at the moment, I would say, because I've stopped using, you know, harsh retinoids. I'm not using tretinoin anymore, and so I don't have such dry skin, but it can get tight and it can get dehydrated feeling, and it's not too oily at the moment. But yeah, I was really surprised at how well that sat underneath foundation. However, I've worn it for the last 2 days without wearing makeup, because at the weekend I was just walking Buxom, and I didn't like it then. My hair would stick to it and my hair got really oily. I needed to wash my hair, and so that bothers me. So it's not one, I don't think, if you don't wear foundation, because it's bizarre. I would never expect a sun cream to be like that, or something oily and greasy to be like that. I would expect it to not sit well under foundation, but it really, really does sit perfectly under foundation. But for some reason, when you've got no makeup on, it's on me anyway, it stayed shiny and it stayed greasy. Now, there are reviews on this and most people love it, but there is a lot of people saying, yeah, it's a little bit greasy, it's a little bit oily, and there's some people that have said this is not for me because it is too greasy and too oily. So I guess it depends on your skin type. I was on the FaceTheory Facebook page looking to see if I could find any reviews of this lip balm, to see if it was just me, you know, and I noticed that somebody left a comment saying, please bring out an SPF 50. And they replied, FaceTheory replied saying that they have one in the making and to get in touch if they wanted a sample. And so it sounds like they do samples, but not, you know, it's not obvious on the website or anything, but maybe if you email them, I might email them and ask them for a sample myself. And maybe you could ask for a sample of this, because I mean, I didn't tell you the price of this, did I? I think it's $14.99. Let me double check. Yeah, it's £14.99, and you wouldn't use this up very quickly because it is, I don't know how much is in here, but it's a big pot, you know, it's a big jar. I don't think this is going to run out very quickly. So it's a decent price, $14.99 for a good sunscreen. Like I said, I just can't comment too much on the ingredients, and I'll be really interested to see their SPF 50 if they come out with it in the same kind of format. So this I really like, and I'm happy to use this. I may change my mind once I look into the ingredients, who knows, but other than those sun protection ingredients, everything else is absolutely fine. And yeah, feels lovely under makeup, so I just won't use it if we go on holiday. It's not something I bring, and it's in quite a heavy jar as well, so it's certainly not a lightweight one. I should say that the sun wasn't out most of the time when I used this. There was one day it was out slightly, but not enough for me to tell whether or not it's got good sun protection. Unfortunately, you can't schedule the sun, especially here in Scotland. That's everything. Let us know what your thoughts are on these, if you've bought them or if you're going to buy them. And I will tell you what I've got on my face. I've got on, what foundation did I use? I use the Sleek Lifeproof foundation in LP04. On my eyes is the Lorac Pro original palette. I sort of dug that out. I thought I would give it a go. This is the colour called Pewter, which I'm surprised how much I like it actually, because it's a cool colour and I'm normally more into warms. On my cheeks is the Buxom blush in Havana. It's called the Wanderlust blush. And on my lips is just too many mixtures to even explain. So that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon.